Hello everyone, I'm Cody.
And I'm Liz.
Welcome to Unit 3, Chaos in Kazakhstan. Now, if you know this country, you kind of know the region, its history, but Kazakhstan is this kind of faraway Central Asian nation. It's kind of nestled, and it's a part of the old USSR, and so there's some influence there about that. But this story is about some unrest that started, and specifically some violent protests that started around, or broke out around January 2nd. And there's been a lot of tension, and some people say it stems from or comes from the kind of LPG kind of price cap that was released. Now, LPG is the liquid petroleum gas. I know there's LPG cars here. Breakout.
Breakout.
Price cap.
Price cap.
This nation is very rich in liquefied petroleum as well as uranium, and you would think, being such a wealthy nation in these resources, that they could increase the wealth of the nation. But almost all of that power is located in a few very powerful hands, and one of those people is the former president Nazarbayev, I believe his name is, in pronunciation. And he's also kind of in control of security forces, and that's been this clash between the people of Kazakhstan and the security forces. And while some in that government and externally, they say that foreign enemies are trying to stir up this unrest and rile up the people to fight against the government. And we'll get to that a little bit more later. Stir up.
Stir up.
But what do you know about Kazakhstan?
Not a lot, but I did have some classmates from Kazakhstan in some of my Korean classes. And the first thing I was surprised, it's a really big country.
Big, very big.
It's like in the top 10 largest countries in the world. So it's quite large. And it's majority Muslim, but most of my classmates were female, and none of them wore hijab or anything like that. So from my image, is that it's a little bit more like progressive, not as a conservative Muslim country. And anything else? I know that it's rich in uranium and gas and natural resources like that, and also that it was part of the USSR.
Right.
And they speak Russian and other languages, but they still speak Russian a lot.
Right.
Anything else to add to that?
Wow, you mentioned a good list of that. You brought up one that I was going to mention because I also have two Kazakh friends here in Korea, and they've kind of talked about how, Russian is the primary language they speak in the capital and a lot of areas. If you're in the capital area, you don't speak Kazakh because you sound or seem more uneducated. At least that's what they told me. So that was a very interesting dynamic of the influence from Russia, it's the friendliness of the government still to this day. And I understood historically, Kazakhstan was very essential to a lot of the nuclear program of Russia because of its uranium, because of its natural resources. It's so rich. Like you said, it's a huge nation. It's got lots of land and mountains and beautiful landscape, but it was a primary source of the resources for the Soviet Union. That's as much as I know. I'm not trying to give a history lesson, but other than that, it just seems like a beautiful nation, and it's quite sad to see this occur.
Yeah, definitely.
Very violent. But we'll talk more about that later. And now the language focus. For the first one, not hesitate to. For my example, if you want to be healthier, you should not hesitate to exercise every day and be active.
I try to do that. Okay, the next point is it's too early to tell. So for example, it's too early to tell who will win the upcoming Korean presidential election.
Still way too early.
But maybe by the time this video comes out, you'll already know.
Yes. All right, and that's it for our preview section. We'll see you on the review.